Welcome everybody to the Virtual Wholesaling Podcast with your boy Antoine Campbell. We are on episode 5 already. It's such an amazing thing as we work to build this podcast to 100 plus episodes for the wholesaling community, the virtual wholesaling community, that is. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about building a virtual wholesaling team and what does it take and the things that you need to do in order to build your team effectively, right? I know a lot of you guys are brand new and you're probably starting out with just one person, but I'm here to tell you that, most legitimate businesses, it's going to take multiple people to help you run this business from a team effort. So on today's episode, I'm going to be sharing that with you to show you exactly what I mean, how to build a structured team. Most people starting off new going to be low to no income, or they're going to be working on a modest budget, or they're going to be using their job to finance this, which is perfectly okay. But as you grow and scale your business, you're definitely going to need a team because imagine trying to open up a McDonald's or a Wendy's or a Checkers or Burger King, a cleaners, um, any type of service-based business, and you just saying, you know what, I'm going to do all this by myself, and it's going to be okay because I don't have the money to do all these things. Imagine going to a McDonald's where it was just one person taking an order, doing the grill work, bagging up the food, and then handing you everything. Then leaving the grill to go wash the bathroom. You're going to be very frustrated. So that same mentality needs to apply to your business. Now, out the gate, when you first start off, you may struggle. But one of the things I want to encourage you, and the tool that I'm going to create later on in the next 3 to 4 episodes, is what we call a break-even analysis tool. And you just, go over to the podcast website and get that tool once it's available, maybe available within a week or two. Depends on when you're listening to the podcast. Check us out on all of the podcast platforms, on Spotify, all the different platforms that podcast is host. Check us out because they'll really help us. And just download the episode so it can really push our podcast out there to everybody. But one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is making sure understanding you know what you're doing. But like I said, that break-even analysis tool is detrimental for you because you can plug in the numbers and it's going to tell you exactly what it's going to take to have a fully functional business, right? Most people say, I'm going to do all this when I get my first deal. The thing about when you get your first deal is you don't want to put all the pressure financially on your first deal to cover a lot of your debts. Because what's going to happen is now you're really going to struggle living deal to deal. My philosophy, and I may be the only person out here saying this for at least for the next 6 months until things really get bad and while we're going through this recession. My philosophy is if you already have a job or you got another hustle or you got another means to live and pay your day-to-day bills, don't live on your wholesale money. Don't live on your real estate money. Take that money and save it so you can invest it in your wealth creation, your prosperity to be able to do things later in the future. And what I mean by that is don't get caught up in the trap of trying to live off your wholesale money, and then next thing you know, you wait for a deal to close to pay your bills. You wait for a deal to close to do this. You wait for a deal to close. You don't want to be waiting for a deal to close to do nothing. You want to be able to live financially and then save everything else. And if you want, treat yourself to a thing here and there. And that's what a lot of wholesalers get construed is they get these $20,000, $30,000 checks and they just want to live like they're from Vegas. They want to live like they're from Miami. And I'm here to tell you that's not the way to do things. Now, if you really want to be successful, you got to understand the principles, right? Now, today we're teaching principles. Your business is built on 4 pillars, right? We're going to get into this on today's podcast. And I want you to write this down. Your business is built on 4 pillars, right? Your first pillar is lead generation. Your second pillar is sales/acquisitions. Your third pillar is disposition, and your fourth pillar is transaction coordinating. Why is this important to know? Because I said a lot of people get started and they just focus on one thing at a time, whatever they're in their business. So if they got a hot lead, then now they cut off their lead generation and they're focused on sales and acquisition. So their business starving. Your business have to be clicking on all cylinders in order for it to be a lean machine and for it to do the revenue that you want to do. You can't just, oh, this week I'll focus on building my buyers list, and then I get back to cold calling. And then hopefully if I get some leads, I'll stop cold calling to focus on acquisition. That's why that don't work being a one-man show, because you can't be 4 people at one time, honestly. That's just my opinion. So lead generation, what is lead generation? Lead generation is cold calling, text message marketing. That's what we call outbound lead generation. Then we have what we call inbound lead generation, which is Facebook ads, TikTok ads, YouTube ads, direct mail. That's what we call inbound lead generation. Now, if it was up to me, I say do both if you can, because you want a consistent mixture of variety of leads coming in. Sometimes your cold caller may hit a cold streak, right? That's why it's called cold calling. Sometimes your Facebook ads may slow down just a bit, but if you got everything clicking and working on one accord, then you're going to be successful in your lead generation. So you always got to put emphasis on your lead generation, because without good quality leads coming into your business, there's no way you're going to be able to do the acquisition side and get contracts. So what does that look like from building your team from a lead generation? That may be behind a few cold callers. That may be behind a cold caller and setting up your ads. And get with us. We're launching our Stream agency, and then we have this new Stream Lead Max program where we'll launch your Facebook ads and take care of all of that stuff for you. So if you're interested in it, head over to CEO929.com and check that out to see how we can help you. And if you still can't find what you're looking for, just book a call and we'll answer any questions you may have. Also, sales and acquisition. See, to me, sales and acquisition is the same thing, but it's two separate things as the same thing, if that makes any sense to you. And what I mean by that is acquisition is the ability to acquire a business or a contract, which is really tremendous and great for your business. But the sales part is the teaching you how to deal with people, teaching you how to deal with people and picking up on things. And like if a person, like here's the biggest thing when someone tells you in sales, yeah, just send me the information so I can look at it. It's two things with that. They even bullshitting you, or they just not ready to make that commitment right now, and that's their stalling tactic to end the conversation and move forward and have you chasing them for the next 2 weeks, which is okay. That's a normal thing when people don't know exactly what they want. They're not really sure if this is what they really want to do. So when you hear someone say some information, I look at it, don't allow them to waste your time. So that's something in sales. And once we start really getting deep into our sales training, if you want to join it, we'll teach you everything we know about sales. But the beautiful thing about sales, when you understand how to deal with objections, you understand how to create rebuttals to overcome these objections, you understand how to focus and really build a closing machine that's going to identify the prospects you want to work with and then turn them into customers or business or sign contracts. So that's sales. And then acquisition, obviously, it's acquiring, getting deals on the contract. If you're doing it locally, that's going to sit on the couch and having a cup of cappuccino and just trying to put your heads together to figure out how to make a deal work. If it's virtually, obviously, because this is a virtual on a podcast, that's you on the phone, building rapport, and getting a person to ready to do business and commit over the phone. So that's one of the biggest things I think that most people need to understand, that yes, it's the same thing, but it does have two purposes. Now, if your sales team, who do you want to hire for salespeople? If you can hire American people, young hustlers, young college kids that worked at a dealership, that did door-to-door sales, that sold over the phone, that's eager to make money, that don't mind, killing the food they eat, that just got a purpose. They got a divine purpose and they have strategic goals and are very ambitious to get ahead in life. Now, I must warn you, these type of people by nature have some type of entrepreneur spirit. So your turnover maybe is a little higher than what you like, which means that a person may ball out with you for a year or two, and then next thing you know, they're ready to move on, do their own thing, or go to a bigger opportunity. So don't get butthurt when you see a lot of people leave you in the sales thing. So the biggest thing I could tell you is have multiple acquisition people, if you can, on your team, right? It may be you just partner with people and just y'all breaking bread on the commission or whatever the case may be. It may be you hiring VAs and then just coming up with a break even. Now you can get an acquisition VA through us for $4 an hour. Obviously, there's an onboarding and commitment fee to go with that first, but you can get them for $4 an hour. So theoretically, you can have two acquisition people working for you for the price of one full-time VA, and you can just split the hours in half, and that's like $80 each a week. That's $160 a week. If you can't afford $160, maybe you want to reconsider doing this business. My honest opinion. So once you have your acquisition team established, then you just need a consistent platform to train them and listen to their calls and give and goes, and just making sure your lead generation team is feeding qualified, good leads to them so they can have a fair chance to get some deals signed for you and bring some business into your business. Okay, now let's move on to my third pillar, which is disposition. It's very important to understand that disposition, well, all of these steps and pillars are, essential to your business. But I think disposition is one of the pillars that's the biggest slept on pillar that most wholesalers don't understand, that it's important for you to continuously market. See, what they do is they get a deal on the contract and now they're ready to start marketing for buyers. And that's the worst position to be in, because now you're coming off desperate. So what I tell people is to proactively market for buyers and build your buyers list and have your dispo guy constantly cultivating relationships with people. So when the deals come, you already know who to send out these. I'm only going to send out 10 emails or texts to my top 10 people that I know for a fact is in position right now to buy in today's market, right? And the only way you know if a person is buying today's market is unless you have an updated conversation with them. Hey, Paul, how you doing today? What you got cooking, man? You buying deals? Yeah, I just bought 5 houses last month. You want any more? Yeah. And now when it's time for them to perform, it's no sob story, man. It's slow, the economy doing the doom. I ain't buy a house in February. Like, you don't want to work with them low vibration people. You want to make sure that your disposition guy or girl, whoever you decide to hire, is really upbeat, is a good thinker, they understand situational awareness, and they ready to rock and roll and do business with you. You know what I mean? So that's one of the biggest things I can tell you, is just make sure that you have good people on your team that's not afraid to initiate and cultivate relationships. Because when you do that, I'm telling you, man, your business is going to the next level when you have people on your team that's not afraid to talk to people and to ask for business. You know what I mean? Some people think that that's a burden. That when you do that, you're looking like you don't have no business. You're looking like you're struggling. I'm here to tell you that's the opposite. If you do that for your business, you be proactive, you're reaching out to people, you're extending the olive branch, you're trying to do business with them. When you finally start getting deals, you're not up at night saying, "Damn, I only got 5 days left to find a buyer," or "I have to tell the seller, can I sell it for cheaper?" or "I have to terminate my contract." And that's what makes wholesaling really a great area for a lot of people, is because they promise a person, "Yeah, I'm gonna perform and do my thing," and then 2 weeks later, this person facing a foreclosure or something, and now they wasted 2 weeks with you thinking you're gonna perform. So the biggest thing I tell people is don't be putting other people's lives in your hands, and playing with their lives. Knowing for a fact that you don't have a buyer, you don't have a relationship, you don't have the capabilities of closing your own deal. And I think that that's what we all have to get to, the point that you can actually close your own deals in-house and then do something with it. You know what I mean? Whether that's doing a virtual flip, that's you closing your deals and then relisting it as a hotel. There's so many ways you can liquidate a deal and still make a ton of profit. So you just got to understand and know where you at. And the thing about the dispo is, as you're finding these dispo people, I like to give people that don't have any prior dispo experience, so that way you can program them with the qualities that you want, and they're not, doing things unethical, or trying to steal business and funnel business to another company. You don't want that. So at the end of the day, my suggestion to you is to get somebody that has the hard and soft skills, get somebody that has the capabilities, that can be recruited, that has the experience that's talking to people, that can build a buyers list, that can create relationships, because you should have the SOPs already. And if you don't have the SOPs, get at us. We are dropping our disposition course. I haven't even told anybody this. Only people who know about this type of stuff is our VIP clients, just because they're VIP. But to the general public, we're dropping our disposition course. It's going to be $500 initially, but after that, it go up to $1,500 because of the value of it and what it's going to do for your business. I know for a fact that if you get 5 better buyers and they willing to pay an extra $2, $3, $4,000 per deal, that course is going to pay for itself. So if you're serious about it and that's one of the weak points and you're struggling with the disposition side of things, reach out to me in some way through Instagram, through Facebook, Facebook group, text me, whatever communication channel you want to reach out to us and try to get your hands on that dispo course. Say, yeah, I heard it from the podcast. I want to get it. But let me tell you something. When you reach out to us as a company, and this should be a practice with your life in general, when you reach out to people, make sure you're 100% ready to pull the trigger. Make sure you don't have cold feet. Make sure you're ready to do the business. Don't just get hyped up for a few days and then have a change of heart. Make sure you're actually ready. And then when you tell somebody something, make sure you're able to stand on whatever you tell them, because that's going to make you look better down the road, especially with cash buyers. You working with a cash buyer, you tell a cash buyer, yeah, we'll let you have this deal. And next thing you know, somebody come offer you $500 more, and you go back to the cash buyer after you told them everything, you gave them your word, and now you're like, I'm gonna switch up on you for $500. That's gonna show them that you're not a long-term player. You're just in it for right now because you're broke and desperate. And when you're broke and desperate, you do crazy things, literally. So my biggest thing to you guys is make sure that you're building your buyers list. You're working with good quality cash buyers, and that you're doing that consistently. And then, the last and final part of it is transaction coordinator. So you can get away with it sometimes using your dispo person to manage the transactions too. But as you grow and you get to that 1 to 3 deals a month where you're making $25,000 to $40,000 a month, and mind you guys, this is all VAs. Like, your payroll not even going to exceed probably $2-3 grand a month, literally. So if you're making 40, if these employees helping you make 40 grand a month, you ain't got to pay them $3 grand. Is that a fair trade? Yes or no? Ask yourself, wow, I'm paying somebody almost $3 grand in salary to help me make 40 grand a month. If that's a fair trade, yes or no? So that's something that you got to look at. You got to be way more logical. You got to be way more realistic, and you just can't have the whole pack to yourself. You have to spend and invest with your team. That's the biggest thing. So transaction coordinator is going to be somebody you can literally take an admin and train them up. Somebody that have admin experience, and then they can be transaction coordinator, because that's strictly SOPs and situational awareness and just putting out fires and being proactive. So, example, if you know for a fact the title company is asking for these standard documents, no matter what transaction it is, then that should be a part of your SOP. So when the deal get handed off to your transaction coordinator, they know for a fact to collect these documents from the seller, expedite that from the title company. They're going to be the ones to arrange the mobile notary, go out to get things signed and pick things up. They're going to be the ones to arrange, a lot of the things that most people just don't want to do or can't do. So if a person needs to, and I know this sounds a little crazy, but there've been several times where a person need to go downtown and get a copy of their ID or birth certificate, whatever. The transaction coordinator going to schedule Uber. They're scheduled to send out an Uber or a taxi or whatever the case may be and pay for it and put that on that file account. They say, you had to pay $40 for this. This person didn't have no money for their ID, so we had to, give them $40 for that, or we paid for it online for them. Then they went downtown and picked it up. Like, at the end of the day, when it comes to running a business, especially a wholesaling business, you everything. You are everything. You are nothing more than a butler service. That's the guys who make the real money in doing this understands that, I got to go above and beyond. I got to be the guy that go out and find apartments for Miss Susan, go out and talk to independent landlords to get a person with a bankruptcy, a second chance, let them know that, this person making $150,000, on selling a house. One of the things we can do is just pay you up for 12 months. Even though they have a bankruptcy, if we guarantee you 12 months of payment in good faith, could you allow them to stay, without going through the traditional screening process. So there's so many things that you can do to really get deals pushed across. Like even as a transaction coordinator, you're gonna be the ones to negotiate the little nuances and things like that, and making sure everybody understands what's going on. So literally, four employees at $8 a week, 8, 16, 24, 32. Literally 4 employees to build this out. What I just said, you that's, and I'm speaking from a part-time perspective. You at $320 a week. Now, obviously, if you want to convert them people to full time, then you just double the money, and that's $640 a week that you'll be spending. So we break things down from a week to week basis. So 6, 6, 12, 18, 24. Like I said, that's still less than $2,600 a month if it was full time. To have a complete 100% virtual team where your day to day involvement is little to minimum. And that's just for labor costs. Now, obviously, you probably got software subscriptions. You're gonna have if you're running paid ads or if you're doing skip tracing, you're gonna have them costs, right? But these costs are set costs that you know for a fact that this is how much my payroll is gonna be, this is how much my process is gonna be, and we have all these calculators for you, and it's only for our business and the boss clients. So if you need somebody to hold your hands and help you through this and literally set up this whole team, put them through training, and literally take you to the next level, we do this for clients all day, every day. We would love to work with you, and we would love to help you get your business off the ground. Obviously, there's a financial commitment, and the reason why there's a financial commitment is because not only are we running a business, yes, but two, we need to create a seriousness moat. Know what a moat is? You ever seen a castle and they put a moat in there, alligators around it? So this is a seriousness moat because everybody can talk and yeah, no. And then when I say, yeah, they pay the invoice, they out of here. You know what I mean? So the seriousness mode help move away the bullshitters from the serious people. And then even then, the bullshitters still slip through because there's bullshitters with money. They slip through, and at the end of the day, you have to tell them that there's work required. And once you understand there's work required and running your wholesaling business, I'm here to tell you, you're going to the next level. Listen, if you're struggling and you need help, don't hesitate to reach out to us. As I grow my other businesses, I'm gonna be focusing more on my other businesses. So that's why I do this podcast now, and we're putting out trainings and stuff into like package formats so that I can give my other businesses undivided attention. And it's going to be really great. This podcast is sponsored by Approval, APROOVEL.com. If you are currently less than a 720 credit score and you just want to see where you at with your credit and what you need to do to fix it, go to approval.com right now, APROOVEL.com, and they'll hook you up with a free, no obligation credit audit to be able to see where you at and give you a plan of action to what to do to fix your credit. Also, this podcast is sponsored by the VA Mastery System. If you need a virtual assistant, reach out to us. We'll hook you up with a VA and get you what you need. Like I said, continue to support us. Follow me on Instagram at CEO929. Make sure that you go over to the podcast platforms and just subscribe to our podcast, listen to the episode, download the episode. That'd be greatly appreciated. We'll be on Apple by the end of the week. We're already on a bunch of different platforms. So we just want you guys to support us. And then probably after episode 10, I go on the Rolodex and start bringing all the big name real estate guys to the podcast. But right now, I just want to give you straight value, no fluff, and good information that you can implement in your business, like literally high quality coaching without paying the high quality prices. So this is episode 5. Episode 6 we'll be working on tomorrow. If you're watching the replay, do me a favor and just like the video and share it. I really appreciate it. Okay, brother. I'm listening. I'm patient. You've been saying that for 6 months. I'm ready for you to get signed up today or tomorrow so we can take your business to the next level. But other than that, this is episode 5. We'll be with episode 6 tomorrow. I think episode 7 Friday. And then next week, we're pushing to get to episode 10. So that way we can have at least 20 episodes before July's over with. And we're going to August, pushing towards 30 episodes. So we're trying to get a lot of episodes out and good quality episodes too. So That way you won't feel like you're wasting your time. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we got a lot of feedback from clients, and we can cover a whole lot on this podcast. So I really appreciate everybody watching it. Like I said, we don't even announce this stuff, so if you're actually watching live, I appreciate it. If you're not, it's okay because plenty of people watch the replay and they'll listen to it on podcast platforms that we're on. So other than that, I'm gonna leave y'all with these commercials from our branding partners, and we appreciate you. If you wanna, once this podcast is brand new, but as it grows and we get a lot of listeners, the prices will go up. If you have something you want to promote, a business or something on the podcast, reach out to us for placements, and we'll see about putting you on the podcast.
This show is sponsored by Approval.com. Go to Approval.com right now to get a free credit audit. If you don't have at least a 720 credit score, they will get you a free credit audit to evaluate and see exactly what you need to do to improve your credit score to get to a 720. Now, go over there ASAP. Tell them Antoine sent you. Approval, APROOVEL.com, and they'll go and hook you up. Hey, if you in need of hiring a virtual assistant, you do know that we own a virtual assistant company. Why don't you just click the link below to go to va.co929.com and get your virtual assistant. Our virtual assistants are trained, vetted, and ready to go. We help thousands of people just like yourself hire their VA and make it a seamless process without having to struggle and worry about who they're going to hire and pick. Go to va.co929.com ASAP to book an appointment so we can help you hire a virtual assistant.